If you're looking for homeschool sanity, welcome. I'm Dr. Melanie Wilson, Christian psychologist turned homeschool mom and curriculum author. But I was once so disorganized, I thought I had to quit homeschooling and stop having kids. Now, by the grace of God, I have 6 homeschool graduates. Whether we're discussing parenting, productivity, or practical tips, I pray that this episode is just what you need for happy, healthy homeschooling. Hey, homeschoolers. Preparing for retirement from any career is important, but preparing for the end of your homeschool career is vital. Wherever you are in the journey, it's not too early to plan for life after homeschooling. I feel I did a decent job preparing for retirement myself, but it has still been an adjustment. I have talked to a number of retired homeschool moms who feel lost. I have given advice for moms in this situation, but I would much rather help you prevent transition difficulties. So let's get on to the tips to help you prepare for this season. My first tip is not to think of homeschool retirement as a sad season. It is not. I've spoken before about this idea that the best time of your life is when your kids are young and it all goes downhill from there. That is not true. The seasons are different, not better or worse. But if we believe that it's a sad season that we want to put off, it will be just that. After homeschooling, you're still teaching your kids, but more as a mentor. I was surprised by how many things I still needed to teach my kids when they left home. My husband and I have advised them about finance decisions, career choices, relationship issues, and more. We still share things for them to watch, read, and listen to. And even though we learned from our kids when they were younger, the number of things we have learned from them has increased significantly. They have taught us about cooking, sports, history, and technology, to name just a few areas. One of my sons has been helping me reduce my screen time, of all things. When my kids were little, it was a joy to watch them reach new developmental milestones. That hasn't changed. They're just reaching different developmental milestones. We've seen them purchase cars, find jobs, choose apartments, and travel independently. To be honest, I'm as uncomfortable with the independent travel as I was with them driving by themselves. But that's my issue. I don't yet have kids who have married and had children. So that's another milestone I'm looking forward to. I hope I've convinced you that retirement isn't a sad season simply by virtue of your children becoming adults. But if we don't prepare adequately, it can be sad for us. That leads me to tip number 2. Spend time developing your marriage. Some moms consciously or unconsciously avoid marital issues by devoting themselves entirely to their children. When the kids are grown and gone, there he is, and there's no place to hide. I'm thankful that my husband and I have grown closer in this season of retirement. We have more time together. We can talk more openly and for longer periods. We can entertain when we want to, and we can watch what we like without being concerned with the kids' presence and preferences. But if there were unresolved conflicts and bitterness, that wouldn't be the story. Many couples separate when they become empty nesters. As much as it depends on you, I encourage you to dedicate time to your marriage. Time alone to talk, prioritizing intimacy, and getting out together are all valuable. I will link some marriage episodes I've done in the show notes. Tip number 3 is similar. Cultivate non-homeschooling friends. The biggest surprise for me as I approached retirement from homeschooling was the number of formerly homeschooling friends I had who were not available to me anymore. Why? They got full-time jobs. No longer could I say, hey, let's go to the park. Let's go out for lunch. Let's go on this fun field trip. They worked regular hours, unlike me. I run my own business, so my hours are flexible. Research shows that people who retire early are not happy when they don't have a social circle of other retired people. In other words, it's no fun to have time off when everyone else is working. Whatever you choose to do after homeschooling, and we will talk about that next, you'll want relationships that can be maintained into your retirement. Be intentional in cultivating relationships in your church, in your hobbies, and in your neighborhood. Make friends with younger homeschooling moms whom you can mentor once you've retired. Make friends with older homeschooling moms who can mentor you and may have more time to spend with you after you've finished homeschooling. I do have these relationships, but I am more committed to pouring into them in this season. I wish I had invested more time for them when I was homeschooling. I also wish I had been intentional about building more friendships rather than being content with the friendships I had. Before I share the last 2 tips, I want to thank CTC Math for sponsoring the podcast.
Have you tried CTC Math yet with your child? Here's a testimonial from another happy homeschool mom. Amber said, I'm absolutely thrilled with CTC Math. It's a rare find that I've used with my children for more than 6 years now. I have 6 children using CTC Math, and each child has found it easy to navigate and very applicable. I love seeing them enjoy this math program and grow in their mathematical journey. Thank you so much for all that you're doing and for providing quality math lessons for my children. So friends, if you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com. That's ctcmath.com.
Tip number 4 is to decide how to work after homeschooling. Some moms have grandkids that they help care for or even help homeschool. Some return to a current or former career with more hours. My nurse friend now works full-time instead of once every 6 weeks. Some try a whole new career. Another friend of mine took a counseling position even before graduating her youngest. Others dedicate themselves to serving. They help in their local homeschooling co-op, or they volunteer at church or for a charity that's important to them. Still others start a business that they have long been interested in trying. If you know what you'd like to do and your kids are old enough to do some independent learning, you can start preparing for future work now. Take classes. Start slowly, as I did with writing curriculum and podcasting. Get involved in volunteer work very part-time. Do something so you don't have that deer in the headlights experience when your baby graduates. Spend time thinking about and planning for your future work, and you'll find yourself looking forward to it, even though you'll miss the homeschooling years. Tip number 5 is to explore new hobbies. One of my greatest joys in this season is to see my kids develop their interests. A joyful life is a learning life. Just because you won't have assigned K through 12 lesson plans doesn't mean the learning adventure is over. You can take the art class. You can go on a field trip with your husband or a friend. Read the fascinating book. And if that sounds wonderful, please don't wait until you're retired. We need to be learning for our own mental health and as an example for our children. Have a family discussion about how you can make time for your hobbies. I brought my daughter to scrapbook at my friend's house. I took piano and tennis lessons with my kids. My husband helped out so I could go to blogging conferences, a hobby of mine before it became a business. If your schedule is so packed that there is no time for you, consider hiring help to teach, clean, or transport kids. Have older kids learn to drive so they can take kids or themselves to practices. Prioritize family activities over solo ones and eliminate activities that are stealing your sanity. That's hard to do, but so is not having time to recharge. Ask yourself if you want your kids to spend their family time the way you are, to give yourself some perspective. Retirement has not been a sad season for me. It's been joyful, in large part because I've planned for it. I've invested in my marriage, so my husband and I enjoy spending time together in this season. I also have some non-homeschooling friends, and I'm committed to planning regular get-togethers with them. I want to make new friends in a small group at my church as well. I am obviously still running a business after homeschooling. People often ask me if I plan to quit now, and the answer is no. I love writing and speaking and learning more about business every day. I still feel called to help homeschoolers enjoy this blessed life. Finally, I am dedicating more time to hobbies I started before retirement. I am going to play tennis and pickleball weekly this fall. And though my best scrapbooking buddy is moving, we will continue to craft together on FaceTime. As you prepare for homeschool retirement using these tips, I think you will find yourself enjoying this current season of homeschooling even more. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you would share it with another homeschooling mom who is facing retirement. Thanks again to CTC Math for sponsoring the podcast. Find the links to CTC Math and others I mentioned in this episode in the show notes at homeschoolsanity.com/retirement. Have a happy homeschool week. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. I hope something you heard was encouraging. If you have a personal question to follow up, don't hesitate to message me. I'm at Homeschool Sanity on social media. Be sure to check my free resource page at homeschoolsanity.com/resource and find Sanity Saving Curriculum at funtolearnbooks.com. This has been a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.